He's worthy of a journey.
Where is everyone hiding?
I'll handle this. I'll fight everybody.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the LG Ultragear TEC Valorant Invitational Season 2, powered by HyperX with Booyah as a broadcast partner. I'm CA, joined by Aggressive on the mic. We're here to bring you the match between Team MAHI and the RAD Syndicate. Now, before we get to that, I have a little bit of news to give to you guys. A player is experiencing some issues with his PC, so we're helping him get it solved. We're almost done, so we will be back really shortly, within 5 to 10 minutes or so. So hang on, make sure you're there, and we'll get this match started. I know all of you are excited for the long-awaited return of Team Mahi as well as Rat Syndicate, so we'll get it started ASAP. For now, just hang on to your boots, make sure you grab some snacks, and we'll see you really soon on the other side with the match. with you a few minutes. Welcome back to the LG Ultragear TEC Valorant Invitational Tournament Season 2, powered by HyperX and with Booyah as our broadcast partner. I'm CA, joined by Aggressive on the mic, and we're supposed to see three new teams today. We saw Enigma Gaming earlier today. They won 2-0, and this time in this series, going to be the other two new teams, which is Team MAHI and RAD Syndicate. I'm excited for both of them, man. I can't wait to get started. Aggressive, how are you feeling?
This is gonna be a match for the ages. It's been a while since we were
Yeah.
able to cast a RAD Syndicate game, and Team I finally coming on back. Their plays, their strategies, they're always a treat to watch. And we're gonna be going into the map veto as we do talk a little bit more about the first map. It is what you love, CA. It is gonna be Icebox.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this map, especially with Team Mahi playing it. They will be adopting a very similar strategy, I believe, to what we saw Enigma play, which is the Viper with the Sage. I think the only difference is going to be we're going to see a Reyna instead of a Raze. So I'm excited to see how that pans through. But what is even more interesting for me is that this is a map picked by the RAD Syndicate. That means I'm assuming that they're going to come into this map with the plan. I'm hoping that we get to see the two different perspectives of how you approach Icebox. One being the Viper playstyle I'm expecting TM to bring, but the other being the very aggressive Sky playstyle that you can play. Trying to take mid control continuously and punishing the other team for playing a much more static approach. I'm hoping that Rat Syndicate does do that, but one way or another, it's going to be exciting. And looking at these picks, I see a Skybait by Amethyst, so I don't think that's going to go through. The Viper should be locked in here. I'm more interested in what Rat picks here.
Well, long gone are the days of the Viper debate. Could have been a debate as Amaterasu goes in for a switch onto the Rays, but I do believe that it should be the Viper in the long run. But coming out from the side of Rat Syndicate, I do want to focus on their side composition a little bit more. It is much more of the traditional playstyle with the Omen, with the Sage, and of course the Jet. But they're opting to go in for the single duelist composition because they want that Sova on their side. And now, see, the question is how much will this Sova help whenever you don't have that flasher agent available on the map of Icebox? And it is
Yeah.
really difficult on this one particular map because if you don't have that flash, it's really hard to go down onto this B side or onto the A side, because with the Reyna flash you can just completely take control of the entire side, and then you can just push in with your team, not have to worry about any sort of an aggressive quick peek or wide swing coming out from the side of your opponents that could catch you off guard.
Absolutely. Like I think that Reyna Flash just adds a level of comfort, especially with the way you can play on defense as well, right? On attack, of course, you have that Flash to play too, but on defense, having that Reyna, it means that you can basically play her as an anchor on one particular side. Leaving her alone on A side, for example, means that she's continuously, if they push into her, able to get the kills, use the dismiss, get out of there safely, wait for a team to then go for the retake. That sort of safety is what she brings to the table, and that level of consistency going to be very important. But now talking about this RAD Syndicate lineup, I'm looking at a solo duelist double sentinel lineup, and I do like this approach because I think it puts a lot of agency into the hands of Paradox. They're relying on this prolific player to really come up strong. We'll see how that goes though, because for TM, I'm expecting the last time we saw TM was in Challenger Series 5 playing the Viper still, but I'm expecting a very different TM to that, and you can see already that approach. Now, a very defensive Viper wall coming from TM. They're trying to split up that B-side entirely, hold on to that snowball. The smoke is well done to do just that, but it does mean that the site entirely open. So with the wall coming down and RAD with an aggressive push, they're able to push in aggressively. It's Paradox with the first kill. Right to ace, he answers back though, and that will mean 4v4 on the map. RAD with the plant, now gonna try to play with the nano swans at the post plant.
Out of charges.
That play from Paradox was absolutely
Scanning ahead.
clean. Just using that wall to go up there, making absolutely no noise, but he was just able to get that one initial kill off. And then there's gonna be keep fighting and a fast rush down on their own accord. It's gonna be the Oxys getting that kill down to his own twin brother. But that's not gonna help, as three other members are gonna be alive to go in for the trades, go in for the kills. And ladies and gentlemen, Team MAHI, even though they were on the back foot initially, they were able to come on back with a really clean retake situation. And RAD Syndicate, you do have to say, CA, when it came to the post plans, they went in a little bit too aggressive. I understand that you wanted to establish some form of map control, But in the long run, when you are being this aggressive with your post plans, it's not going to be working out, especially on the map of Icebox. That, as you stated before in the previous map when we were watching Enigma, that yellow control is very important, and whenever you play around the side of yellow, you have the control of the entire site. You don't have to really worry about any sort of an aggressive push coming down from the side of Snowman. You don't have to contest it. You just play for the post plan.
Now, in the eco for RAD, they're going for an aggressive push down mid, but Hellfighter able to pick up multiple with his own play. That aggressive push by Hellfighter using the grace to perfection, backed up by that Sova to ensure that they pick up the round in a flawless manner, basically. Get them that bonus round going into next and guarantee that operator to come out for antidote. Now, these next rounds is going to be really important for me because I want to see how exactly TM do end up going for the setup. The way the wall plays for TM in the first round, it was essentially to try and deny aggressive push onto B. You leave that Viper to solo hold it down and then play on the basis of that, hoping to if the Viper does get rushed, you can play on the retake. So we'll have to see how exactly for the side of RAD they're able to counter this. They are going for the mid control once again. The dash up draft for Paradox to take his position on top of these tubes for antidote, holding it down from a deep angle behind the boiler. He'll find one and right to race with a couple more.
Last player standing.
I got he's using his movement to his advantage, and Paradox says he spots out the head. It doesn't matter what kind of a smoke it is, he's gonna be able to shoot it down. Hellfire gets taken out instantly, but it's gotta be Excali coming in from the back end from under the tube to make sure he gets the revenge for his buddy, taking us to a 3-0 scoreline, ladies and gentlemen. And another eco round for the side of the RAD Syndicate. And once again, they're not really establishing any form of map control when it comes to this map of Icebox. They were not being aggressive down here from the side of A. They tried to just full send themselves down towards from the side of mid. And yes, it can work out against unexperienced teams, but against Team MAHI, you cannot just force yourself down from one of the side lanes. They're going to be able to retaliate really easily because of their team play, because of their coordination coming on through.
Absolutely. Like, I think for the side of RAD Syndicate, their composition without the flash, it becomes much harder to attack on this side, so they want to play much more on that slower approach, try to get the picks and then play for the rotation. But for these rushes, they keep trying it. Now Paradox, what was that flick? He missed his first Blade Storm shot towards Hellfighter, but immediately lands the next onto Amaterasu to secure that first kill for his team. Protects Cali with his own, he'll trade it back. 4v4, but this is the approach we wanted to see from RAD Syndicate. Play for the fix, go for the rotates, and now they find themselves onto A side completely open and free.
Now down in this 4v4 situation with the spike going on down. Paradox, he still has all
Spike
his knights
planted.
available, so they can work out a really easy push on their running court, but at the same time, Team MAHI, they are ready for it. The ultimate has been popped out as well from the side of the defense, right to Ace. He's looking to try and get a kill or maybe get a little bit of information. He clears out a lot of corners, but it's gotta be Paradoxes on the sideline, be able to get one down to the Hellfighter. But his own Cologne is gonna be able to take him down with a well-placed frenzy shot straight to the head, takes him out instantly. And with on the sidelines, it's gonna be right to Ace, getting a kill on his own. And now down in a 3 versus 2 retake situation, who's gonna be able to come out on top? Is it gonna be RAD Syndicate or is it gonna be Team MAHI? The shots are not gonna be coming in clutch. Verify's not gonna be able to find it. And Tarzan, Excali! What was that movement? Excali, the movement god coming in massive. He's swinging left, he's swinging right, he's doing his victory lap around the map of Icebox.
Yeah, a really nice approach from Team MAHI there. The ultimate used by Right to Ace really well. He goes to basically clear out the corners using the Hunter's Fury. Even though they don't get any tags whatsoever, he's able to give the information. The way they were placed, if you notice, one to under the heaven area, the second towards the upper angle near the entry to the site, and then the third to clear the angle right behind that, ensuring that there is no way for TM to get surprised from those angles, and reducing these angles in Icebox makes a huge difference, because then for the team it allows you to play the match in a much simpler, much more like cautioned fashion. For Team MAHI to be able to do that, and of course Excali with his sick movement, allowing Team Mahi to take a 4-0 lead coming into this round. Now, that was the eco for the RAD Syndicate. So going into this next round will be where they look to make their mark. Hopefully try to push for a comeback, because in this first half, like going into the attacking is where Team Mahi will feel at their most comfortable with this composition. But for RAD Syndicate, the same goes. I think into that defense with that Sage and Killjoy, they will feel that tad bit simpler regarding their execution. So we'll see how they're able to pull it off. But now Excali, he gets caught off from the back angle. ZBTF taking him down. But the backup there is Amaterasu. He'll find the trade. Amaterasu, he'll drop the spike carry, and now holding it down. The Viper with the wall down at B, but the presence at A will make sure that Team Mahi retain a huge advantage.
Round is 3 versus 2 situation, especially with Paradoxes getting caught out. It's gonna be the opposite on the sidelines, being able to get a kill of his own. But it's gonna be right to Ace, turning around, whipping his mouth perfectly in that situation to get that first initial kill off. It's gonna be Paradoxes trying to go in for the shot, but you only have an operator, my dude. You cannot go up against a Phantom at that close of a range. Triple kill for right to Ace and an off to boot. Antidote's gonna be happy. Everyone from the side of Team Mahi are gonna be happy, as another eco round is gonna be coming on through from the side of RAD Syndicate. And a lot of these pushes, I understand what they are trying to do, CA, but at the same time, you can see that they're trying to go in for a lot more of these solo executes. And on the map of Icebox, yes, it's a lot about gunfights, but it's primarily about strategy. This map is based purely around strategy in comparison to gunfights, and RAD Syndicate constantly trying to fight for those gunfights.
Standing
It's
ahead.
not always going to work out in their favor.
Absolutely. Like, I think RAD Syndicate, they need to go for that slower approach. But once again, they've grouped onto this A side. They're trying to push this Reyna, backed up by the Sova. And with the recon drone coming out, giving a lot of information, Excali, he'll have to reposition himself. He'll pick out the Empress too. If he can just get a kill, he'll get a reset, but he will not. Deoxys with the headshot takes him down. And that means A side push on the cards for RAD Syndicate. Now Paradox, he takes down 2 more, and this is a huge round for RAD so far. They cleared out that screens angle completely, and they can now play both on the screens as well as the belt to force out Team Mahi into a particular angle for the retake. You know exactly where they're gonna come from. And Paradox with the clean headshots to pick up a flawless round for the RAD Syndicate. Can't count them out just yet.
This guy is so clean, and you have to give it to him. That fake updraft as well. He completely baited out the entirety of the team. Like, just think about it. CA, he used the updraft, baited out Amaterasu. He thought that he was up. You saw him go in for that pre-fire down on the up top, and he just went in for this clean, crispy headshot. We need to watch this again. Ooh, that pop on the Hellfighter's head. So clean, so crispy. He was able to take that round away, but as I stated before, these rounds can come on through, and the gunfights are gonna be rated on in. Amaterasu goes in for the peak against this operator. He gets taken out instantly, and it's gonna be a fast push coming down from the side of RAD Syndicate down onto this beast.
Now, with that controller down, the B side much more open and difficult for Team Mahi to like hold on to. The Hunter's Fury coming out for Deoxys as they try to take, but this wall much more entertaining wall as for Syndicate, they're just trying to get the plant through. Antidote, he's able to get one, but the plant does go through. Antidote with another onto Master will get the advantage of Team Mahi. But look at this, yellow control retained for the RAD Syndicate, meaning that they need to just wait over here. But Hellfighter with the help of the recon, with the jiggles, he's gonna find a couple more, and the stinger for right to Ace. Eco weapons or not, Team Mahi absolutely strong on that retake.
Your shooting was just so fast. In that situation, I didn't really even expect them to win it out, especially with the first pick going down onto the side of the Viper.
Oh my god.
Are you kidding me?
They just revived the Viper so that she could go pick up the... This is called ultimate efficiency. This is what I absolutely appreciate. They revived the Viper because she's on 6 out of 7 ultimate points. Yeah. She goes for the defuse, she gets her ultimate ready. Wow. Just wow.
Really wanting to see how these how the Viper's pit actually is going to be used as well, because in the previous matchup of Enigma for going up against 6cc, we were constantly talking about the fact that the Viper's pit did not really get a lot of usage to force the enemies to go in for the rotations, and I'm now looking at Amaterasu to use this Viper's pit and just show people he can do it immediately. He just pops it down onto the side of B-Main. He's like, this is my world, you're not coming here, you're going to Antidote's world. He has an operator and he's looking looking for the
Oh
fight.
my
He got
God.
the double kill to boot.
You should
He's
run.
sending everyone from the side of Rat sitting at home, and he's sending them kicking. But even with the Killjoy ultimate coming down through, they have the answers. They're gonna be throwing it down with the lockdown going down. Not really a lot to work with, ladies and gentlemen. Rat
Here.
Syndicate, they're in a pretty tough spot.
Oh!
One
The
enemy
fake's
remaining.
coming out as Master tried to jiggle and push it through to allow Verified to go for the peak, but Andy's like, no, 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 not happening against me. Gets the peak anyways, and with the operator alone, you'll get the ace. You can't go into B because you walk into that Viper's pit. You can't go into A because you'll walk into the operator. Rad be like, man, where did we go?
We go mid, but they don't have a chance to go mid pretty much because there's like 2 other guys there. You can see the smile on Antidote's face. He's like, peek me. I thought he was gonna say the Rossi lines, be like, I don't miss. And he doesn't miss. 5 bullets, 5 kills. That is how efficient this guy is when he is this operator in his hand. And ladies and gentlemen, he's just showcasing what he can do when he is on board. Team MAHI, they're storming through the gates, taking us to a 7-1 scoreline. And Antidote, he is taking a pretty aggressive angle, and this could backfire in a second if he's not careful.
Antidote, they don't know he's here. He's able to take down one, but the swarm.
You will not kill my
They
ally.
swarm him on angles though, and they are able to take him down. And that aggressive push not working out aggressive. But Hellfighter, he maintains the yellow control. He's able to find 1 kill, and now 3v4 on the map. But ZBDF, he's picked up the operator himself. He's gonna find another kill. Now Excali, he's holding down the default heaven angle. He's trying to find the pick. They know where he is though. But with the help of the Lear, he's gonna find another. Make it 2v2 on the map. And now Excali with the jiggles take down the spy carrier. Jiggling through and then using the dismiss, getting a free peek for himself essentially, meaning he knows exactly where ZBDF is, and ZBDF is just an operator. He's gonna have a hard time, but he's landing 1 shot. Almost land the other, but right to ace. I mean, I coined him right to clutch, I think all the way back in Challenger Series 2, and this is exactly why. Calm and composed under pressure, it's 8-1 for Team MAHI.
Bullet just went past his heel. ZBDF, you were this close. You were this close. You were just a hair away from hitting him in that situation. But right to ace, just sidestepped the bullet at the very last second. He was going towards the left, stopped himself, went towards the right, and the bullet just missed out. But that was a really good round coming out from the side of Rad Syndicate. But at the same time, CA, you have to remember the fact as well, you are giving away 8 rounds on your own attacking side, the stronger side on the map of Icebox. And when you're going to be going onto the side of the defense, that's just going to get even more hard, especially with the Viper being present. Rat Syndicate, they need to step up. They need to get these full rounds if they want to have a chance. They need to get the scoreline to an 8-4 if they want to have a chance in their own defensive half, because with this Viper, things are just going to get a lot more harder.
You see, for Amaterasu, as compared to the previous game we saw or any other international tournament in general, the Viper walls are much more defensive because they understand that for Rat Syndicate with no flashes, they have to commit through the wall to push through. They're using that very well, leaving the operator on that B-green angle, forcing them to either commit into that like free peek through the Viper wall where they're ready to take them down, or to walk into Anti's operator. Either way, it sets up Team MAHI for a lot of success, and this sort of innovation really nice to see from that Viper. 8-1 now. There were trades going out as Paradox and Excali were taken down, but both of the teams, they've slowed themselves down a bit now. They're waiting for the smokes to come out, and with the smoke towards Raptors and the Paranoia to clear out screens, they're gonna push in, but they didn't clear out the default side hold. Amaterasu with 2 kills, just waiting besides that wall, is exactly why these defensive walls are so strong, because they don't have a flash. They can't clear out every single angle with the Omen Paranoia, and it sets up Amaterasu on that corner for perfect success. 3 kills already, 9-1 for Team MAHI.
Beautiful plays by all of these players. The way that they're just taking control of the entire match, taking control of the entire sidelines, and you can see the smile on his face. He's smiling right to Ace, gets a drink of his own Red Bull on the side. He has the energy. He's feeling it all, ladies and gentlemen. They are... The way that Team MAHI are just able to play a lot of these fights is really smart as well. The Viper walls going up and going down at very close intervals. And in that situation, you saw previously, as soon as Amaterasu got those 2 kills. He immediately pulled up the Viper wall and he did not bring it back down, even though he heard the sound down here on his left-hand side. This is mainly due to one key important factor. Right away, gave the call that I have my arrow, pull up the wall, and through the wall they were able to get all of these kills. And once again, there's gonna be a double peek coming out from the side of Excali, and right to Ace being able to get the first kill down on the Paradoxus. And with him going down, going up to a 4 versus 4 situation, who's gonna be able to come out on top? No revives are gonna be there just yet. As Verified from the sidelines, though, he gets a double kill. He takes out the Marasu and Antidote. The op is gone down, ladies and gentlemen, and now it's just gonna be Hellfighter and Right to Ace to try and clutch it out. Will Right to Ace be the Right to clutch that we know him to be, or will it be RAD Syndicate being able to take their second point on the board?
Fighter's position is absolutely clutch here. If he can just take down that Omen there, it would be huge. And Right to Ace, though, he's like, I'm gonna do this by myself. Pulls out the shock dart, he'll get 1 kill. Now ZBDF taking down Hellfighter makes it impossibly hard for Right to Ace. And with that Phantom in that long range, especially in a vertical angle, even more difficult. RAD Syndicate doing really well to take down those first 2 kills. Taking down Amaterasu meant that that wall where the site is basically denied in terms of that mid peak and the green peak, it goes down and it forces them to play in a situation where they don't have those toxic bites to stop the plants, and they don't really have that Viper to just sort of play slowly for the retake. Without that, it becomes much more difficult for Team MAHI to go for that easy retake. Push allows for RAD Syndicate to get into their post-plant position, and the way they're able to swarm all over, making sure that they pick up the round. For that position for Antidote, so nice. You basically put yourself in the box right on the left of the nest, the defense area, and that box gives you a tiny peek towards the entry of the A side for the attackers. Now you can see Team MAHI, they're pushing in very aggressively. Already the aggressive flank from Excali taken down, but Amaterasu is right here waiting in mid. He's gonna take down one to get answered back immediately. The Omen ultimate did come out from the shadows to the kitchen. ZBDF now looking for the hot peak. Should be able to find Hellfighter here. And that kill with Paradox as well, meaning this last round set up for the RAD Syndicate to take it down.
Not gonna be able to thread that needle just yet. That's NBDF. He's gonna be able to back on off, but his knives are gonna be raining on Supreme. Goes in for the right click, but he's not gonna be checking down onto Paradoxus. He has such a beautiful angle to work with. If Antidote does not check his corners, he's gonna get caught off guard. But Antidote, he comes out on top. As he's gonna be jumping on down, he gets the perfect accuracy before Paradoxus is able to pop his head down as he was falling down. And ladies and gentlemen, this is very much possible down in this 1 versus 1 situation. Will Antidote be able to pull it off? But no, it's gonna be Master coming in again. The master of clutches as he is. He's gonna be able to find down another one. And on this 9-3 scoreline, yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is very much possible for the comeback to happen. But at the same time, as we stated this before over and over again, you never want to give the double digits away towards the side of your opponents. And the pistol round is now very crucial for the side of RAD Syndicate. If they lose out on this pistol round, it is all but over for them. They're basically giving away an 11-3 scoreline moving on forward.
Definitely, this pistol round gonna be absolutely clutch if they can pull it off. And a really interesting approach from RAD Syndicate. They're stacking on this A side, using that Killjoy turret to cover that mid boiler area, deny a mid push, make sure that Team MAHI, if they go for that B side, they can play for the retake. It's a bit of a prediction play. I do wonder if it will work out, because generally on attack, you see that Viper wall as it is set up right now to completely split that B side in 2, and that's where Team MAHI will look to fake out, find some picks towards A, and then go for that rotate towards B, I believe. Now Anti, he's able to find one, but ZBDF with the trade was tagged down really low though, and Hellfighter able to take advantage of that, pick up that kill, meaning advantage for Team MAHI so far. Now for Master, the heal is ready to like give Deoxys some health back, but he's all the way on the other side of the map, and this is where it gets very difficult to try and coordinate on Icebox, because the attackers get so much agency with regards to where they want to push. The mid smoke going up, the wall should go up about now after that drone expires, and that will mean it's the queue for Team MAHI to aggressively push into that side. That wall, not only does it deny view from that snowman area, but also denying that top half of the default site, meaning that with this wall about to come through for Hellfighter, an easy plant going down, it's Team MAHI now on this B side.
Spike planted.
Being able to get this is going to be super important, but beautiful crosshair placement coming out from the side of Radmaster to take out her clone. And ladies and gentlemen, with Master getting that first initial kill of his fishing down onto the side of Hellfighter. Now they don't have the heal to work with. No one can go back up to Phil. Excali can try and get one kill in a bare minute.
One
Try and make the
enemy
difference.
remaining.
He's gonna be able to get the overheal for himself. Along the sidelines is gonna be Amaterasu getting the kill down on the Verified. And now on this 1 versus 2 situation, who's gonna be able to come out on top? Will be Master, the Master of Clutches? No, it is gonna be Amaterasu instead, coming in from the heavens with his own classic to take him out. Ladies and gentlemen, that's good.
Just a beautifully executed post plan for Team Mahi. They keep only one member in that yellow, but that one member is that Reina. So basically, even if she gets pushed on, she can try to find a kill and then get dismissed out of the way, or just take the backup of her teammates the way she did in this round to hold on. Essentially forcing RAD into a situation where they can't go for the defuse because of the snake bites lineups. They can't go for the easy retake because they don't have the flashes. Team Mahi punishing RAD for the weaknesses in their composition and doing so really well. Now what I want to see from RAD though is a slightly more aggressive push in this eco round. Try to just deny that economy from Team Mahi and then look to the buy round for your advantage. We're gonna do that by camping though, but as BDF revealed in his shorty position, he's gonna get taken down, and another as Anti finds Verified. This right to ace recons, I mean, is this like Indian average Jonas or what?
One enemy remaining.
For sure, man. That, like, you remember when a couple of rounds ago I was
Opponent
like, what is
kill.
this recon? You saw my face on the cam. They can't see it, but you can. Like, I was like, what is this arrow? He has probably 5 arrows, 5 different arrows for mid. And I literally saw Rad Syndicate looking left, looking right, and they're like, where the hell is this arrow? What is going up and hitting the spawn door? What is literally hitting the top left side of Tube? He has positions everywhere for these arrows, and on the map of Icebox, you can be very creative of what you do. And right to is just showcasing what he can do with all of these arrow lineups, and he's just playing mind games with the entirety of Rad Syndicate. And the fun thing about all of this is that in a lot of situations we have seen right to ace use the arrows like a single flash. Everyone looks to try and break this arrow, but they immediately pop it.
Master with the fake wall pushed in through. He walled himself out and he's not able to use that sound cue to his advantage to get one kill. But Excali taking him down, meaning it's just a trade. A really nice push by Master there. He used the wall and faked out his push, meaning that TM thought there was nobody coming in from Tube. Since they heard the sound cue of the wall coming up, he's able to surprise them though. Pick up the kills for his team, and that delaying of Team Mahi's push meant that they're not able to push this B side easily. But now right to Ace and Hellfighter. Hellfighter having pushed in from mid, he's gonna wall off Snowman. He has the revive ready in his hands, but they do need to try and go for the plant first. The bodies available are mostly in that mid area, and with ZBDF now, I believe the shots were fired, so his position is revealed, meaning it's ZBDF and Verified in a very simple situation. But Verified, his position is unknown, and ZBDF taking both of them peaks at the same time. That was a really quick round, and Rad Syndicate with their buy doing really well.
You have to give it to ZBDF in that situation. The way he was able to jiggle that corner, absolutely insane. And this was a really crucial run for them because, as we always say, you never want to try and fight for the match, for the overtime in any sort of situation, especially on the map of Icebox. Because on this map, if you try and fight for the overtime, it is very easy to make that one small mistake that can cost you an entire round, and you never want to be playing under so much pressure. But still, really nice run coming out from the side of Rad Syndicate, because in a lot of these situations you saw that, especially Master, like I saw your face and I was like, what exactly happened? What did Master do? And then I noticed the wall. I was like, Master, you're an absolute psycho. Who does that? Who would ever do that? And him being able to get that kill just dictated the pace of the entire round.
Yeah, that fake out wall is something I have seen in the European Champions Tour. It's really nice to see Master doing it as well. But now Rad, they're going for a very defensive approach. They do get punished though. As Team Mahi, they're just aggressively executing onto this B side. They split the side up, they go for the push, but they get the kill each. They're using the resurrect to get them the advantage. But Master holding down from there, have an angle towards this, able to equalize it. Right, Ace is using his Hunter's Fury preemptively to take one down, but him being taken down on the flank, meaning that now 3v2 for Team Mahi. The snake bites are ready, and so is Excali with the Empress. He's gonna get taken down though, but Hellfighter right there to back up. Finds the trades. Now Amaterasu versus ZBDF. Amaterasu with the vertical angle. I don't think WDF was expecting that at all. And a quick round to secure match point for Team Mahi. They just surprised Rat Syndicate as a whole, I think, because every single round before this, KTM were playing much slower. They're playing for the pick. So they're like, you know what? Let's use that Viper wall to its fullest advantage, split the site in two, and take it for ourselves.
Beautiful execution as well in that round. You could see a fast rush coming down onto the side of B main and aggressive control also being established by Hellfighter. He played down from the angle of he played down perfectly from the angle of yellow, making sure that no push was going to be coming down from the side of kitchen, while the Hunter's Fury was coming on through. And Excali, knowing for the fact that people are just going to be running amok as soon as the Hunter's Fury coming on through, he just wide swings the angle, expects to get a kill, and he was able to find it. A lot of information being found in the long run. And Amaterasu, those jiggles are so good. He's able to dodge out the shots of RAD with Antidote being able to get one kill of his own. And on match point, ladies and gentlemen, on the map of Icebox, we do see Team MAHI have the two-man advantage. And now, in this 5 versus 3 situation, who's going to be able to come out on top? It's going to be the option swapping out the Hunter's Fury. Does get attacked, gets a little bit of information, but it's going to be Hellfighter using the commotion of the Hunter's Fury to get his own advantage, as the damage is going to be done. But it's going to be Antidote being able to get the reverse kill down on the Paradoxus immediately. Deoxys is the only one left to try and make the difference against these 4 players, but Antidote, he's so sneaky. We know he's built different when it comes to these type of situations, ladies and gentlemen. It is going to be Team MAHI taking map number 1.
A really nice approach from Team Mahi in that last round. They used that wall to deny that mid peak from B altogether, use it to force the side of Rat Syndicate to walk through it, find the peaks, and with the first bloods, they're able to slowly push into the site, take control, and then play for that post plant. It didn't really come to fruition, but you see, with the way Hellfighter going down in that defense nest, he I think was going to go for the upper plant, meaning that they want to take screens control and then play on the basis of that. Instead, play for the long post plant from the actual attacker's nest. And this sort of innovation, really cool to see. But Anti, that offer so important on Icebox. He's gonna pick up the MVP and do it in a flawless fashion. For me, I think a key part of that Rat Syndicate approach coming into Icebox was like, hey, Team Mahi, they're supposed to be weak on Icebox. Let's try to punish them for that. But you can see that TM, they did the preparation coming into this map and they were ready to just take down the team 13-4. Absolutely phenomenal. But I think we have plenty to talk about. So let's quickly go into the LG Ultra Gear match highlights and really talk about what the difference in these compositions were and where Rat Syndicate could have tried to change something up to punish Team Mahi for what they lack. Now, for aggressive, for me, I think it really does come down to the rounds they won, Rat Syndicate. It was when they were able to take down the Viper really early. So when you don't have that flash, right? When you're playing that double sentinel with the killjoy for that defense approach, I think you really want to be spreading yourselves out, continuously trying to punish Amaterasu for his defensive walls, and then find the plays on the basis of that. But it does come down to whether or not you're able to find your picks, because without those picks, you don't really get control, and it becomes really difficult to push through. Team Mahi, just flawless. Rat Syndicate, I'm sure they'll bounce back in the next game.
This is their own home map though. As you said before, this was
Yeah.
take. So I expected a little bit more strategy coming on forward. And as you stated, not really a lot of map control being established. They played a lot more for the gunfight, going in for these hyper aggressive plays, but against a much more utility-based composition that you might have, it's not really going to work out if you go for purely gunfights. And I would have expected a little bit more proactive plays coming out. For example, Master's insane play, walling himself off and pushing down towards the side of Tube. That is the unexpected play that no one will expect, even no matter what rank you are. And ladies and gentlemen, I do see a lot of potential coming out from the side of Rat Syndicate, but they need to play much more together when it comes to being a team instead of going into a lot of these solo gunfight deals. And hopefully, in the following map, they're going to be able to come out on top and bring us to map number 3, which we all want pretty much.
I mean, today has been absolutely perfect, man. We got Icebox, Viper twice across both series. We got Skybind in the first series, and now I'm gonna get split in this second series, which is map 2. So I'm just really excited, and I want to see what new things teams bring to the table, because as you all know, we haven't really got a chance to cast or see the new split in action ever since the changes were made. So I wanted to see what different things teams do cook up For now, though, that was a really amazing map one, and we'll go set ourselves off for map two. Grab some snacks. We'll be back really quickly with the LG Ultra Gear TEC Valorant Invitational, powered by HyperX and with Booyah as a broadcast partner. happy and definitely worthy of a journey.
Where is everyone hiding?
I'll handle this. I'll fight everybody.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the LG Ultragear TEC Valorant Invitational 2, powered by HyperX with Booyah as our broadcast partner. We're back for Map 2 between Team MAHI and the RAD Syndicate. In a triumphant fashion, Team MAHI was able to take down the RAD Syndicate 13-4 on Map 1 of Icebox. So let's quickly take a look at what we have available for Map 2 as we go into it. Now, Aggressive, I do believe we are going to be going into Split. So, what are your thoughts? Like, new Split, new changes? This is our first time casting it. So, what do you think we're going to see?
With a new split, with it being less defender sided, it's still quite defender sided, but with all
Yeah.
the recent changes that they made it a lot more open and less claustrophobic. And this will allow the teams to experiment just a little bit more of how they play a lot of these islands. Of course, the tried and true tested pick has to be the race. If you don't have a raise on the map of split, you're basically not going to be able to take a lot of the aggressive side controls and aggressive heaven controls on both of the sidelines, which is really difficult even now after all of these changes. But I do expect that maybe a sky pick to come out, and of course the sage. Sage is actually a rising star on the map of split. We have talked about this previously as well. That's on split, Sage is now pretty much a must pick because of how her wall can be used to get those elevated angles and get a lot of the aggressive control status that we would expect that she would be able to do with all of her walls and all of her wall boosts recently.
Absolutely. I think the Sage is undeniably strong on split, like especially considering that it's no longer just about wall made and wait it out. You can use that wall much more aggressively towards that garage area or even the ramps area to get these aggressive boosts. Play for the all point control a lot. But looking at the picks, I think like especially considering that these teams they are like newer facing, I'm scared we might not see that Sage. Instead, just default back to what these teams know best, which are those triple duelist compositions or that breach composition to try and take mid control as much as possible. I'm excited though. Any innovation we get, we saw this make the difference in Series 1 earlier today. Any innovation, it just makes such a big difference and gives you such a big edge. Now, I think we're ready to go into the map, get ourselves started. It will be an interesting look for both of these teams. As for Team Mahi, this is them trying to close out the series right here, get themselves the win, move on to the semi-final stage. For the Rat Syndicate, it's for them to try and go into that third map, try to just punish, like force Team Mahi into that third map and really bounce back from map one, which, as you mentioned earlier, it was their map pick, right? So now coming into Split, it's going to be much more difficult to pull it off.
These are gonna have quite a bit of a hard time, to say the very least. Both of the compositions are pretty much the same, except for one very key important factor. Rat Syndicate, they do have this position and they decide that you might. And yes, of course, as you say, these teams are opting to go for they're opting to go for a very simple composition with that breach, keeping in mind. But Team Mahi, them on the attacking side, what like we know what they can do whenever it comes to such aggressive pushes, but they're playing it slow, slowly creeping their way down towards this A side. They're waiting to see if they can just fester of Rat Syndicate and be like, hey, maybe they're going on to B. We need to go in for rotations, but the cages are going to be coming out from the side of Hellfire. And the fast push is going to be starting to execute as it's going to be antidote dashing on in. That's effective in that situation, but they're not checking down inside of the sidelines. It is going to be Paradoxus getting the first initial kill with Deoxys on the sidelines being able to take one of his own. We're right to Ace and Antidote are able to even on the playing field, taking us to a 3 versus 3 post-plan situation for the side of Rat Syndicate.
A really aggressive push from Team Mahi. They first took down the wall, but now pushing into the side, they're able to get the side for themselves, and they've left right to ace here towards the
Here.
heaven side to go for the flank, while two members wait on the back of the side. Right to ace with huge positioning here.
One
He's gonna
enemy
find the first
remaining.
kill onto a verified antidote with another, and right to ace with his triple will secure the pistol round for Team Mahi. A really nice approach. As you said, Team Mahi, they're going for a much more standard push here. They're electing to pick up that breach. Even the Cypher for them, very much comfort picks as a whole. Excali shifting onto that raise. This is something that we've seen a lot from them. For the side of RAD Syndicate though, I'm seeing that Sage Killjoy composition without the Jet too, something that I'm seeing a lot more now on the Champion Store. So I want to see how they're able to pull it off. Try and use that Sage more of a battle Sage rather than a defensive Sage to get the most of its advantage, and use that Sage Killjoy combo to just deny the breach aggressive pushes as much as possible. But to do that, you have to start predicting the pushes, and you can see them trying to do just that. They're taking A-shot control here while Team Mahi take mid control. They're able to take down Hellfighter, but Team Mahi make them pay on the other side of the map. They take mid control for free. They push in, they take down Master and Verified, and with that mid control, it's an easy B-side exit.
B-side execute, but it seems as though ZBF, he has something to say about it, but he's not going to be able to find much more. He does take out Amaterasu, but Excali with a triple kill. He's looking for his ace. He's probably hunting for it, but at the same time, he cannot, because ladies and gentlemen, now down in this 3 versus 2 retake situation, it's going to be Paradoxus. And of course, a Killjoy in the back end who's going to be able to come out on top. The Oxus slowly creeping his way forward.
One enemy
There's a person
remaining.
holding down the angle, and it's going to be right to Ace being able to get that kill down onto Deoxys. But Paradoxus, he does have the Spectre in hand. He could opt to go in for the try, because going in for a save, especially with just Spectre, not really going to be helping much, but it's going to be Paradoxus being able to get the first visual kill and get the heal as well. The overheal in his favor, and ladies and gentlemen, this could just work out. Tarzan and Cali not working out, as ladies and gentlemen, Paradoxus could be the person to make the difference, and he's making his way down forward, but Antidote, he is still alive, and with the clock going on now, the spike timer is gonna go boom real soon, and he has to die to the spike. But still, seeing, he did massive amounts of damage when it came to the economy of Team Mahi, so in the long run, they're gonna be happy with that Easter round.
Absolutely. 4 guns being denied for Team Mahi, meaning that in going into the next round, TM, they will be forced to invest into those Phantoms and Vandals. They don't get that bonus round, and now they're in a position where they end up having to go for the buys into a round where RAD Syndicate already have such a full buy for themselves and an advantage, considering that all of Team Mahi not able to afford the full shield. So a couple of light shields, a couple of Spectres, meaning RAD, even though a similar amount of investment made by both teams, it's RAD with the advantage here. But Team Mahi, they are 2-0 up, and they're going to look to try to take the advantage here, push it even further, make it 3-0. We'll see if they're able to do that. Now, a recurring theme in every single round is that Team Mahi, they take down the wall first, and then they go for the play in a different side, essentially forcing RAD Syndicate to not have that relief of pressure of being able to just deny mid. Team Mahi making sure that RAD forced to cover every single angle. Now the flash and dash, but it's actually right to Ace towards that garage area, picking up his clone Zebi DF in an aggressive push. He gets caught out, meaning B garage completely open, mid-side control taken. Team Mahi just like, we're gonna catch our breaths here, force the rotations out from RAD, and then we'll go with stuff like that. But whoa! Wow.
Shot. He just threaded the needle perfectly in that situation. Good crosshair placement as well from the side of Verified to get that kill. But at the same time, he did get traded out immediately. And the trade favor is still in the side of MAHI. But still losing a Amaterasu before they were able to enter down into a side, before a lot of the utility was used, is going to be hurting the side of Team Mahi as they're making their push down on the A side. Is going to be easily established, even with the Killjoy traps being present. Hellfighter is going to be able to make his way down into the side. Deoxys does control that. A lot of the footsteps are going to be hitting on him, but Deoxys, he survives, but he's not going to be surviving for long. Excali, Hellfighter, and Antidote chiming in with the kills of their own. 1 each for everyone, as ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be a 0-3 scoreline moving on forward for the side of the attackers. Team Mahi, they're going to be really happy moving on forward, and as for the side of the defense, they're going to be forced into another eco to boot.
think RAD, they're relying too heavily on that Sage to hold down mid control. It becomes very difficult, especially against the Breach and a Jet combo where the flash and dash comes through. Because once mid control is taken by Team Mahi, they're easily able to exploit the fact that they can just cut all of RAD Syndicate into two parts and push forward into the side. They like what I want to see from RAD is maybe move the Sage onto a particular side and then stack Heaven as a whole, forcing Team Mahi to play into their own hands where the Sage kills can come up strong. For TM now, they know that an aggressive garage push happened in the last round by ZBDF, and they know that it's very likely to happen again. They stack up into that garage, punish it aggressively, having taken down both ZBDF and Deoxys, get that free B-side for themselves. The plant ready, all of them in their post-plant positions. And the new part about Split is that a tiny part of that B-side plant position extended, meaning the way you can see they planted, they can easily peek on it from the garage area. So that garage post-plant, Team Mahi in an optimal position to make it 4-0.
That fault line so clean coming out from the side of Monora, so making sure he sets up his team perfectly to get all of these kills. And now, ladies and gentlemen, with Verified being the last remaining member with just a Singer in hand, not really a lot of time to work with. He either needs to go in for a rush, try and get a kill, and try and die to the spike. He makes a lot of the footsteps. He's hunted for this kill. He's gonna be able to find one before he gets traded out immediately by Manurasu. But at the same time, see, you have to remember that Manurasu, he's getting closer and closer to his Rolling Thunder, and him getting that kill, and the fact that Verified did not die to the spike, basically makes the impending doom come even closer.
Absolutely. Now 4-0 for Team Mahi. It was an eco round for RAD Syndicate. So with this next round, they will look to fight back. We'll see if they're able to do it. The fact that they have lost the rounds meant that there is no chance of an op coming through. As I was saying, right, I think I want them to use that Sage much more proactively down in the garage or the A-side area to then allow for a heavy stack towards the mid. This basically forces Team Mahi to go for the aggressive push either into the wall or the Killjoy, which is where you want to try and counter that breach as much as possible. Instead, you can see Wall left with the gap. Team Mahi not expecting it. Paradox using that gap really well. He finds the first kill. Now he's gonna drop down. The audio key should have been given by him. I think they are expecting a Paradox. He has nerves of steel. Not gonna pay off because right to Ace able to take him down. An antidote with another. That's B-side completely open. The showstopper gonna be pulled out by Excali, but he's not gonna find anyone because all of RAD there on the other side of the map.
Still, he knew what was up. Excali nearly just clips off ZBDF in that situation with a rocket, but ZBDF, he's not checking his coordinates properly. He gets caught off guard. Antidote with the second kill down on the Verified as well. Now leaving Deoxys on his lonesome to try and fend for himself. Again, the both lines are just so clean coming out from the side of Deoxys. And that's the situation. The smokes are not going to be coming on through, and Antidote, he just flicks his mouse around, does find the head of Deoxys, takes him back home, ladies and gentlemen. And we're going to be on a 0-5 scoreline. But that round was absolutely insane. I was trying to point out to you for the fact that Antidote and Excali, they made a mad dash towards this A-RAD side. And they were actually making their way down from the side of Vents. Paradoxes barely survived, like literally barely got out from the other side of the wall, and he pushed into his impending doom still. Right to Ace was standing there, and even if Right to Ace didn't get that kill, there were two duelists right behind him to get another kill, making sure he was gonna go down no matter what happens in that situation.
Yeah, didn't really have much of a choice, and now in the eco, it feels I don't think they have much of here as well. They went for the aggressive push using that pain grenade to allow them to push into the mid. They're able to find a couple kills. The Stinger and the Sheriff coming up huge as they now take the advantage for Right to Ace, showing the power of that Phantom. He'll find the trade, make it 3v3. Now you can see ZBDF, he's pushing aggressively into the garage, and there is an impending 1v1 between ZBDF and Hellfighter, but it's not gonna happen because ZBDF actually scratch that. He does start pushing once again. A stalemate of sorts between both of the teams as Team Mahi holding their angles, RAD holding them as well. The player to make the first move to get the first kill will come up huge. Now ZBDF with the judge, he's gonna do exactly that, but Hellfighter, he's expecting it. He knows that ZBDF likes that aggressive push, is able to jiggle it out, find the kill, and Antidote with another. It's TM now with the B-side push.
That is why sometimes CA really hate the shotguns. Sometimes you're gonna get one shot, and sometimes you're just gonna hit that on the end. But still, beautiful crisp crosshair placement coming out from the side of Hellfighter to get that headshot down.
30 seconds left
to take him out. And now with the fast push coming on down towards this B site, they're gonna be able to get the plant down really quickly. because Deoxys is pretty much on the other side of the map, and even with that lockdown coming on out, he's not really able to go in for a playoff result. Does not have the gun advantage in his favor. So, ladies and gentlemen, now will Deoxys be able to do a little bit of the economic damage, but he's not going to be able to. Right to Ace is just going to be on his right side, being able to get that kill. It sends him into the next dimension. And now on the 0-6 scoreline, see, they do have the loser streak on their side, so they have a lot of economy to work with. So finally, Paradoxus, he's going to be able to pull out that operator. And I'm looking at this operator to bring a lot of the value and also bring in the rounds for the side of RAD Syndicate.
Absolutely, but they are leaving ZBDF all on his lonesome in this B side. I think they're relying on that Sage to back him up after putting up the wall, but that's an interesting thought considering that Team MAHI continuously take down that wall. So the Sage will be looking to hold down B Heaven, and this is a sticky situation for RAD. As I was saying, Team MAHI, the wall goes up, they instantly take it down as long as it's vulnerable, and now the flash and dash as well, they're trying to take control of this B Heaven, but the slow up coming out, meaning that they can't do so just as easily. You can see them though, now having taken mid control, they're going to make their way into Vents, try to take Ram's control, have Hellfighter push in then to complete a pincer movement, but not just yet. They're waiting for Right to Ace to group up with Hellfighter, and then with everybody in positions, and with the smokes going through, that will be the cue for Team MAHI to make their play. The Rolling Thunder though going to come down in B side. I think this is more of a fake, because you can see the spike is making its way onto A, but the Rolling Thunder and Excali trying to set up the fake, denied instantly by Paradoxo. He's gonna find that kill, and now the alarm bot with the showstopper gonna get RAD all the information they need.
Last
This is
player
the round for them to
standing.
pull it back.
A very beautiful round as well coming out inside of RAD Syndicate. And Right to Ace, he's gonna be the last remaining member, but with the lockdowns and everything coming out in front of him on all
30 seconds
sidelines,
left.
ladies and gentlemen, Right to Ace. I did not believe he's gonna be the right to clutch for this round because if he's able to do this, this is gonna be one tall order, especially for the fact that Paradoxus, he's holding it down with an operator, and he's not gonna let Right to Ace slip anywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna be the first round on the board for the side of RAD Syndicate, and a very beautiful round indeed. Them opting to give up that mid control, play a lot more for the retake situation. They just opted to respect the side of Team MAHI, being like, hey, I understand that you guys love to play aggressive. You have the flash and dash combo. You have Excali to go in for a lot of these aggressive peaks. They played it slow. They played it defensively, and as soon as Paradoxus heard the flash, he immediately went in for the swing down onto Excali and just pops his head immediately when he's flying through the air with that operator. Basically, he's putting a stop to any sort of a push that Team MAHI would have been able to do. A beautiful round execution coming out from the side of RAD Syndicate. And then getting this first round finally breaks the momentum streak that Team MAHI have, but at the same time, see, you have to remember, they no longer have the loser streak bonus on their side. It is now completely reset, and they need to work from scratch if they lose out on this round.
I can see the way they're positioned once again. That Sage and Raze combo to try and hold down mid. This time Team MAHI, they hadn't taken down the wall just yet, so they're gonna have to slowly shoot their way through while the rest of their team lurks in those particular angles. Now ZBDF, he knew that he's starting to get caught out in the aggressive push. Instead of playing a defensive angle, he's able to take down one and Master with another, meaning it's RAD with the advantage, but Amaterasu and Excali, they're not too far behind. They're able to get two more. Now Excali, he was exposed to that side. He gets taken down by Verified, but Hellfighter at the back, it's straight central all the way through. But this hat coming off for this Cypher will give all the information that the Breach and the Cypher need to make their push. They know that the Reyna is on the B side and that the Reyna has the
30
operator.
seconds left.
So they're gonna elect to make their way away from the operator, instead go for this A side. Actually, scratch that. It's gonna be a fake. Hellfighter just taking out the alarm board, faking out that they're going for the A, putting his camera down, and now with the help of Amaterasu and the Breach, they're gonna go for B, but they don't have time. They need to do it fast.
10 seconds left.
Same time, you have to remember it is Paradoxus with this operator down onto the other sideline. Instead of taking the corner properly, Paradoxus, he does get spotted out, but the shot's not going to be able to come on in. But they know for a fact that the operator is going to be pressing one back, and it is going to be Deoxys and Hellfighter. He's going to be able to thread that needle perfectly, get that headshot down onto Paradoxus. Sound has been made, ladies and gentlemen, with the trap wire being destroyed. They know for a fact that Deoxys is sitting down on the Hevel angle, and he needs to make his way down real soon. Goes in for the fake jump down, but they're not buying any of it. They're not going in for these fakes whatsoever. They're playing for the cross beautifully. And this is what you want to see, ladies and gentlemen, that the double peak is going to be coming on real soon. Halfway defuse is going to be going on in as well. The fault line to boot. Ladies and gentlemen, the Oxys is like pro zone fake. But whenever you have a Monarasu on your side on that breach, I think a fake is a better option.
Yeah, considering that you know that the fault line is going through, maybe a fake would have worked out better. But since they knew his position anyway, that was gonna be a difficult round one way or the other. As you mentioned in that last round, the loss streak is gone for them, so they will not be able to go into the next round with full buys as a whole. You can see on the eco that while I think 3 players will be able to get the full buys, it will be Deoxys left with the light shield and Verified left with Spectres on his weaponry. So it's going to be a very difficult task for the side of RAD Syndicate. Now, a key thing to note as we look at this stage is that there's no wall, no slow ops available for Verified whatsoever. So they're relying heavily on their aim, their weaponry to get the first picks off and then force the MAHI into a disadvantage. But that's going to be a very tall order considering that that breach is all about trying to deny those duels, set up the advantage continuously. And you can see now that Team MAHI, they see, wait, mid is completely open. This is huge. They're not even going to bother going there though. Instead, going for this B-side push, Master holding it down. He'll find a couple more. And for right to ace, that ultimate did go through, so he needs his team to back him up ASAP. Otherwise, that Omen going to be a flight sucker again.
Got one.
He had a beautiful off angle of his own to work with, and it's gonna be right to Ace and Excali to try and make this difference. Going up in this 4 versus 2 situation, ladies and gentlemen. This fight has gone down. It's gonna be Excali being able to get that kill down for his clone. Right to Ace is right to clutch, ladies and gentlemen. What was that spray down? What was that? Right to Ace, you're an absolute madman for again Batman in this situation. I don't know who is the boogeyman anymore. Is it right to Ace or is it Batman? What was this play? Headshot after headshot, even the resurrection. You're just beating a dead horse at this point, right to Ace. You have to stop.
Oh, that was just insane. For Team MAHI, I mean, right to ace. This is why I call him right to clutch, because damn is he good in those high pressure situations. 8-1 for Team MAHI in an impossible round. I thought that was going in favor of RAD, because the way Master able to pick up those kills, the way they were able to solidify their advantage, it looked like they were really set up, especially with the resurrection, to take them down, secure their second round this map. But now Team MAHI, they were just pushing aggressively. They're going for that hard B-side execute. WDF in the shadows. He's taken down one, but will get traded out. Scally taking down another, meaning a free side for Team MAHI. And within 20 seconds, aggressive, they've not just taken side control, but they will get the spike planted as well.
They're riding on the momentum after that ace, man. Yep, they're like, if he can do it, we can rush in the side and do it ourselves. They just all just bursted in. They're like, oh, FBI, open up. They just busted down the doors and they're just running it down. Team MAHI, the confidence coming out from this team, you can feel it in every fiber of their being as they're doing all of these executions. And RAD Syndicate, they have to be feeling demoralized after such a play, such an ace coming out from right to ace. Such an ace from right to ace, okay. I think I caught myself in that situation a little bit. But at the same time, it is Radmaster holding down with the operator. No one's taking this corner! And they don't just walk on past. No one could see each other. But it's gonna be Excali to take him out in that situation. Not really getting a lot of information on his own accord. Knows for a fact that one member is gonna be down under the side of Ben, but it's gonna be Ben BDF trying to get a kill of his own. And it's gonna be Excali chiming in on the kill on the Verified now, taking us down to a 2 versus 2 situation. It's gonna be a Madarasu in the back and being able to get that kill down on the BDF. The Ox is pushing his way down from the side of A Heaven with Paradoxus on the sneaky flank. With the spike going on down, Amaterasu, he has a beautiful position of his own to work with, and with it, Scally getting that kill down on the Deoxys, and with the ultimate getting pumped and primed, it's gonna be Paradoxus though being able to get the first initial kill down on the Amaterasu. Excali, he's playing the mind games, he's going in from the back end, he doesn't know where he is, Paradoxus, he's not checking his corners, and it's gonna be Excali to take him out on a 4K for this raise as he knifes the glitch pump.
Last round before the switch.
Figment, I do believe, into the next Oblivion, and it's gonna be a 1-10 scoreline for the side of Team MAHI.
I mean, for RAD Syndicate. They tried to play that round in a different way. You saw the wall used in that B heaven area to try and just allow the mid control where they're like, you know what, you can take mid control, but you can't take A heaven or B heaven control. And initially using that, they were able to find an advantage. ZBDF on the look, he picked up a couple kills, but Excali just popping off there, picked up a triple, allowed him to push into B heaven, take the side control, and on the basis of that, get Amaterasu to come in with the spike. The round coming through for the side of Team MAHI, but RAD Syndicate, they're not going to give up just yet. An aggressive approach, they took down kills and demolished Team MAHI to secure this last round
Switching
of the first
sides.
half in their favor. 10-2 is definitely better than 11-1, but it's still a tall order because now Team MAHI, they will go on to the defense and just look to play as they wish to, because with this breach, you can play very aggressively on the defense, take mid control for yourselves despite being the defenders, or you can play very defensively, play for the retakes rather, allow RAD Syndicate to try and make their way in without any initiator to boot. RAD, they're gonna have to heavily rely on those peaks, because without those peaks, it's gonna be a very difficult task here in the attacking half.
What I do have to say, CA, is they need to stay as far away from this B side as possible, because B side executes, especially when your opponent team has a breach, is absolutely impossible. And they're playing it smart this time, RAD Syndicate. They're opting to go in for an A side execute with Hellfighter being the only member here present to try and hold down the fort. He's not going to be going anywhere just yet as Hellfighter. He's going to be able to get one kill down on the Paradox before he gets traded out immediately. Amaterasu is not going to be able to get any value as Radmaster, an absolute maniac. He's going to be running himself down onto the sideline, getting 2 kills for himself. But now in this 3 versus 3 retake situation, who's going to be able to come out on top there? The side of RAD Syndicate, they're not able to get very spread out coastline positions. They all are going to be funneled down into a side, and it's going to be all about these gunfights, all about these trades moving forward. Anything could be possible, but especially with the Oxus getting the first initial kill and the damage being done by the turret, ladies and gentlemen, I'm pretty sure that Team MAHI is going to be on the back door.
ZBDF loves lurking in these smokes. A really nice round picked up for the RAD Syndicate. They went for the heavy A-side rush, and Team MAHI, they went for a more of a B stack. You can see, leaving that Cypher alone to allow for an aggressive fort line from the breach from B Heaven for Excali to push and take control of B Garage. It didn't work out for them as all of RAD Syndicate stacked onto the A, which does mean now, with this information, I do wonder if they shift this breach onto A, try to take a long control instead and play on the basis of that. No, they're not going to do that. Instead, just going to shift Hellfighter onto this B side. Try to take mid control very aggressively here. I see with the way the fault line is set up. But once again, RAD, they're like, why change whatever works? They're going for this A side. They have the weapons in their favor, and they're going to pick up a couple kills. Ante was able to take down 1 gun, but with RAD having taken down a couple more, they get that free real estate to boot. And now, with the plant, they're going to have to hold on this retake from Team MAHI.
Team MAHI now making their way down from all the angles. Hellfire does get spotted out by the turret down onto the side of A Heaven. Not really able to move much to anywhere, gets tagged down to 88 HP. Little bot doing what it can to make the difference, but ladies and gentlemen, this could be quite difficult with the double stack down here from the side of Tommy.
Last
Really
player
going in for the
standing.
peak, and it's gonna be verified on the sidelines. Just going in for the jiggles. He jiggles left, he jiggles right. He knows what's up, and he's gonna be able to take out Hellfighter from the sidelines with his team to back him up to get the final few remaining kills as well. As ladies and gentlemen, on this 4-10 scoreline, it is RAD Syndicate bringing the fight back in their side. But at the same time, CA, it is the buy round, and we know what can happen when it comes to the buy rounds of Team MAHI.
Yeah, this is the round where Team MAHI will look to fight back, and we'll see if they're able to do that. Now, for RAD Syndicate, the first 2 rounds were very much of that A-side aggression, so they will have to change it up, and they're going to do exactly that. Now grouping around mid with the vent smoke coming out, they're trying to take mid control for themselves. The boombot of Excali gets a lot of information, and he's going to use that information, just step back, invite RAD Syndicate to walk into either the traps of Hellfighter or into the hands of that breach and raise. For RAD Syndicate, they're going to choose to go for this A-side push here. The trap being taken down should reveal their positions, and I'm not sure if this will be a fake right here, considering Master's position. It's not going to be a fake, actually. They're committing onto this A side, and this might end up being disaster because of the defensive angles already held by Team MAHI. The flash coming in as they retake that heaven before they even get some advantage out of it. Hellfighter with a couple, and Team MAHI is demolishing RAD Syndicate in their buy round.
That is absolutely incredible. That flash coming out from Madarasu, so goddamn clutch. Sends the flash straight through the wall, making sure that Excali, he would have no problems cleaning up at least a couple of kills before he gets taken down on his own accord. They went in for the fast rush, but the crossfire angles being set up by Antidote and Hellfighter was just so clean. Hellfighter holding down from the side of screens, while Antidote put himself on an aggressive angle down near from the side of the middle of the site, basically just pincering them from both sidelines. Even if they were able to take out Antidote, Hellfighter was just in the back end to make sure he was on cleanup duty, to make sure his buddy doesn't get taken down in vain. Beautiful plays coming out, but it's gonna be Radmaster making his way forward, but Hellfighter, he has something else to say about it, but Rad Verified does take him out immediately. As Antidote's gonna be able to get the refrags for days, it seems, ladies and gentlemen, and more refrags are gonna be coming on down. It's gonna be Antidote being able to take down one, but Deoxys and Paradoxus, they're able to take down one each of their own. One is gonna be quite detrimental, with Excali being able to get that kill down on the Paradoxus in this 1 versus 2 situation. Deoxys, he's gonna be having a pretty rough time. Even though he has the spike, he does not want to go in for the plan just yet. He wants to bide his time. He wants to see what he can do. But Team MAHI, they have the information. They're not going to be peeking. They're a team that are disciplined to stay close in this situation. They're not going to be peeking whatsoever. They're going to be waiting for the plan. But against the Killjoy CA, it's going to be quite difficult to go down in this 1 versus 2 situation if they make even one mistake.
Yeah, but the bot being taken down to give Deoxys information of where they are. But it's all just a fake, because right to ace, he takes down the bot, but goes for the wraparound, able to get the peak, get the kill onto Deoxys to secure match point for Team MAHI. The buy round was where we looked for them to really establish the momentum, and now with 2 rounds, 1 back-to-back, the eco is going to be in a ditch for the RAD Syndicate. Match point with an eco advantage, meaning that RAD Syndicate, they're in a sticky situation and they're going to have to find some sort of creativity to pull this off. Because Team MAHI, they're feeling very comfortable here. I think for me in this round, the key difference ended up being that the way Team MAHI able to take control of particular pockets across the map, right? The fact that Excali, he's able to make such a long push towards the A side, coming from the back of the attacker spawn, giving him the free peek onto Paradox and get the kill, make a 2v2 situation into 2v1, is where this breach is coming up really, really strong. Even on the defense, Team MAHI, they're being very, very proactive. Now, on this particular round, they're going to play defensively because they know that their aggressive pushes have been exposed and they do not want to get punished for it. It's going to be that Killjoy left lurking on A, while the rest of RAD, they go for this B side push. Deoxys, you can see, the way he's set up, he wants someone to fake an aggressive peek. He wants to take down a kill, use his turret then with the help of his lockdown to facilitate his team's push, and that's exactly what they're going to do. The rest of RAD Syndicate now rotating out as Paradox is just left by his lonesome. Paradox, he needs to try and create a lot of noise or deny the rotations for Team MAHI, because now with the lockdown going out, RAD, they're committing heavily into this push. It's just Hellfighter and Antidote left to hold it out. Let's see if they can do exactly that.
Scally, what was that movement? My god, it is gonna be Radmaster though, being able to get that 1 kill down with the nade and take aggressive control down from the side of screens. The spike is gonna be going on down, but ladies and gentlemen, you have to remember this is a 4 versus 3 situation, and from the side of Excali, he does have a showstopper. Not only can use it just yet, and ladies and gentlemen, the fast push is gonna be coming on through, but from the sidelines, it is gonna be Deoxys and Radmaster being able to get a couple of kills of their own, but from the sidelines, Deoxys, he's chiming in with his own headshots. The ultimate is present still for the side of Excali, but he's gonna be using the flashbacks to go down immediately into the back end of the sidelines. Excali, he's off into going for the plays, and he's gonna be able to find it with a showstopper to boot. Ladies and gentlemen, Team MAHI, in an explosive fashion, are able to close it all down, and it is gonna be a 4-13 scoreline to head map number 2 and set number 2 as well for today.
Never said I was perfect.
13-4, 13-4. I thought with the way Master able to get these kills, there might be a chance for RAD to pull back this round, especially with Deoxys getting that really nice kill. But with his location revealed, Excali just plays it really smartly, fakes the defuse, pulls out the showstopper. He's like, you know what? You have to take a gamble here, Deoxys. You either go for the hold, expecting me to push in with the showstopper, or you push in expecting me to go for that full diffuse. Either way works out for Excali, and that means that in a win-win situation, it's the win for Team MAHI. Excali is gonna pick up that MVP. On that race, we talk about how this pick is so important. And when Excali plays it, it really does feel like he brings that joyful, carefree attitude of that race to light. I mean, brilliant match by Team Mahi, but Rad, they gave a fair fight and they're not out of the tournament just yet. It is double elimination, so we'll see if they can make their way back into the tournament from that lower bracket. For now, though, let's take a look at the entire series from an eagle eye, talk about what was right about the comeback of both of these teams into the tournament scene. We'll go to the LG Ultra Gear match highlights to do exactly that. For me, I think Team Mahi, they've displayed exactly why they're one of the best, if not the best teams in our region. The fact that they're still unbeaten in a particular tournament of the the TEC where they are participating is a huge achievement. And they're continuously trying to do that with this tournament, make sure that they take down the defending champions in global esports. They started off really strong against the RAD Syndicate, 13-4, 13-4, very clean wins throughout, also displaying that Icebox is no longer what it used to be for them. It's no longer a weakness, rather potentially even a strength. So I'm excited to see how this pans out as they move further into the tournament. Now for the RAD Syndicate, we saw moments of brilliance throughout for them. The players, they definitely have a lot of potential, which is exactly why they've been invited into this sector among the top 8 teams. I'm excited to see how far they can make it in the lower bracket, bring out some nice surprises, potentially even show us some innovation along the way.
I totally agree with you on that. But at the same time, Rad Syndicate, the thing that I would like to see from them is much more of the team doing coordination in comparison to what they opt to go for a lot of these solo plays. In these type of situations, once again, I see that ace going on the screen on the match highlights, and that has gotta hurt when it comes to the morale. But ladies and gentlemen, that can always happen, and you as a team always need to bounce back from that. And I do believe that Rad Syndicate, they felt the pressure after that one ace coming out from right to ace. And whenever you are demoralized as a team, you always need to bring yourself back. You always need to fight for the next best thing. And in this situation, I always say that Valorant is a game more about mental and less. It's a lot more about the mental aspects in comparison towards the side of strategy and, of course, aim. Whenever you are feeling confident, you will see that your team just performs a lot more better, and you as an individual will perform a lot more better. And Team Mahi, they were overflowing with confidence. You can see it in their eyes when we saw the caps, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Team Mahi, they were on a different level when it came to that coordination and when it came to just understanding what Rat Syndicate are likely to do in a particular round, the mind games and the predictions on point. And I do agree. I think Rat Syndicate can try to work on that team play a little bit because the players individually, they have a lot of promise. I'm excited to see them do exactly that because, as I said, they still have a life in this tournament. For today, though, we got to see all three of our new teams in action. It was Enigma Gaming moving on to the upper bracket semifinals, joined by Team Mahi there. Rad Syndicate and XTC Esports, they'll make their way to the lower bracket. I'm excited to see how these new teams can upset the flow of the tournament that we saw in Invitational Season 1 and just show exactly what they've got in their plates. For now, though, we're gonna take a break. We'll see you guys back on Sunday. In the meantime, you can check out the links in the description below for some amazing discounts, as well as make sure you like the stream, hit that subscribe button, get the notifications bell on so that you make sure you're not early. Now, we'll see you back on Valentine's Day because we know you, all of you, just love this action here. Make sure you're there. We'll see you with the LG Ultragear TEC Valorant Invitational 2, powered by HyperX with Booyah as our broadcast partner.